All right, we'll start with an opening statement from head coach Rhett Lashlee, and then we'll have him introduce the players, and we'll do those before Brad begins as well.
All right. Well, we're really happy to be here. Really thankful to Jeff and the entire team here through the New Mexico Bowl. We've had a great time so far. Hospitality's been excellent. Love being here in Albuquerque and enjoy getting to spend time with Kalani and some of the guys from BYU last night. I mean, what an incredible program they have. He's a class act, and we're really excited to get a chance to play, two national brands. SMU BYU sounds like a lot of fun, and we're excited for the game. We introduce them now?
Yeah.
All right, we got our quarterback, Tanner Mordecai, and our linebacker, Jimmy Phillips, two of our team captains.
This is for both of you. Tanner, obviously went to bowl games at Oklahoma. Jimmy, you've been here for a while, but SMU hasn't been to a bowl game the last 2 years. I mean, because they haven't been able because of COVID. Long question short. Just how has this week been, being able to actually be at a bowl game, and what are you looking forward to?
I think the guys had a lot of fun last year when COVID kind of came in and didn't allow us to go to Boston. We felt like we kind of got snubbed after a year that we were excited to play. So this year, I think the guys are just that more excited since last year got taken from us.
I would say it's very special, just trying to soak it in, remember all this, remember the feeling, just not being able to play in the game because of COVID. And I said we're very excited to play this game and ready for Saturday.
Tanner, just with the extra time, obviously you've taken some big hits throughout the year and everything. Just how do you feel with maybe a couple game weeks off and also a little time off in practice to heal up?
Yeah, after Memphis, Coach gave us some time to rejuvenate, and yeah, I feel great. This week's been great for everybody, and yeah, we'll be ready to play.
I guess for Jimmy, you've been out there, but you've been out there a lot. Was it just kind of nice to decompress a little bit and kind of recharge a little bit as well?
Yes, sir. It's much needed. Thank you, Coach Lashlee. But man, we're just ready to play now. We got enough time off. We're just ready to throw the football out there and play.
Anything else for the guys?
Brett has previously said this week that this is a war, not a season-defining game. But I guess when you're now that you're this close to game time, is that kind of, this is for both of you, is that kind of the feeling, or is the competitive nature kind of settled in right before a bowl game?
I think the competitive nature will always be there, no matter what we're doing. Especially when we get to play at a school like BYU that's played against a lot of big Power 5 schools. We're going to be ready to compete, for sure.
Yeah, this game means a lot. You get a chance to play a team out of state, out of conference. It's always special. So we want to win this game. We will win this game. So it's just being ready for this tomorrow.
This is a question for Jimmy. You are on track to suit up for the 58th time, which ties the SMU record. What does that mean to you?
I'll say I'm blessed. Thank you to God for letting me be here. Just thankful for my teammates for trusting me to be on the field. It's just, do you know who's number one? Hayden? I'll say, wow. Hayden is to me, Hayden is SMU, so I say it's very special being in a company with Hayden, and I say very thankful for it.
All right, thank you guys. We'll move on to coach.
Brett, how rewarding has this experience been so far?
It's been fun. Had a really good time this year with our guys. And, that's the thing about college football. Every year, every season, that team has a life of its own. And when the season ends, that team will never be the same again. These guys are about to play their last game in college and here at SMU. And while we got a lot of guys returning off this roster, it'll be a different team a year from now. So I've really enjoyed the journey with these guys. From when I started a little over a year ago and through the spring and summer and then the season, it's just been a lot of fun with this team, the way it's made up, and this staff. And so to get a week like this and play one more game tomorrow with these guys and our staff, it's been very rewarding. So.
And Coach, I know a lot has been made about the elevation and all of that. What have you seen and felt from it the last couple of days being out here? And what are kind of your expectations for it tomorrow and a true game setting.
Yeah. Well, me personally, I haven't been working out much lately, so I'm good. How'd it feel today? Are you guys good? Okay. So, you know, we'll be fine. You know, usually it takes 48 plus hours to acclimate. We've had 2 days to work out here. You know, I don't think our guys have noticed it too much. I'm sure they'll notice it in the game. It's different. Plus, we haven't played a game in 3 weeks or whatever it's been. But they're pretty young, so they'll be all right.
How was dinner last night, and were you able to get Kalani to spill the beans on who's playing quarterback?
Dinner was great. I sat right by Kalani. We had a great time. You know, I got to meet him back in June at a coach's classic event out in California. And just a great guy, down to earth, does a great job with this program. We enjoyed hanging out. You know, it's rare that you have dinner with the opposing head coach 48 hours before you play him. But that's good. We talked about plenty of things. I'm not going to give away anything he said. You know, I think he asked me if we promised to huddle and not run trick plays, then he won't zero blitz and drop 9, and so we worked it out.
Coach, how has BYU's quarterback situation affected your preparation on defense, if at all?
Yeah, I mean, when you're uncertain who's going to play, you know, obviously, you know, they got a great quarterback. If he plays, I mean, he's been one of the best in the country. But even if not, you know, there's 2 to 3 different style of guys you got to prepare for. So that's affected it probably a little bit. At the end of the day, you're preparing for a really good BYU offense, a team offense. Just like us, you know, Rasheed Rice isn't playing, Jalen Thomas isn't playing. We still feel like we have a good team offense. And so, you know, we know they're not going to probably change who they are after 12-game season, just like we're not. And no different than a game if they were all healthy. The starting quarterback could get knocked out in the 3rd play, and you've got to adjust. So, you know, in a bowl game, especially where there's some guys that are out on both sides, longer period of time, it's almost a little bit more like a first game of the year, you know, where you kind of know what you're going to expect, but you may have to adjust a little bit in the first quarter and then try to settle in from there.
Coach Kalani was a big fan of the local food here. I'm just curious your thoughts on it, and if you can handle the heat.
Could you repeat that?
Oh yeah, so Kalani was a major fan of the food here locally. I'm just wondering your thoughts on it, and if you can handle the heat of the green chili.
Okay, yeah. I've heard a lot about the green and the red chili, right? I've not had a chance to eat any of that yet. We've kind of been going from one thing to the next since we've been here. I do like to eat. I like food, so I'd love to try it. And whether I can handle it or not, I don't know, but I'd sure give it one heck of a try.
Get a little on the potato sauce.
Hmm?
A little green chili on the potato sauce, a little bit.
Got it.
You kind of touched
I
on
don't think we would get it.
You kind of touched on the rewarding aspect a little bit, but this season, I've imagined, as a first-year head coach, it's kind of been a whirlwind from start to finish. Have you had a chance, maybe with a little bit more break between regular season finale and this game, to kind of reflect specifically on this, maybe the senior class or, you know, this team in general?
I haven't really reflected much. I mean, and to me, till after the game tomorrow, the season's not really complete. And, you know, when we got done with the Memphis game, the way the recruiting window is now, we just went right into that like a new life of its own. You know, the stuff that was brand new was from when I got hired on about around December 1st until August 1st. There's been plenty of first times and change since August 1st, but when we started coaching football and playing football, I mean, that was kind of like the riding a bike part. So these last 4 months have been a lot of fun. I haven't really thought of it that way because it's not about me, it's about our team and these guys. I've enjoyed coaching them really because of, you know, when you have a transition and then you do in the era of college football now where there's the transfer opportunities and just the nature of the coaching change that happened at our place. For these guys to stick around, you know, I'm really proud of them, appreciate them. I think it's something that they'll look back 5, 10, 15 years from their life and be really proud of what they did and how they finished.
Coach, these 2 teams, for BYU and SMU, for teams that have only played like 3 or 4 times in their history, have a very unique history from like the 1980 Holiday Bowl to briefly being conference mates and that kind of thing. Are you a college football historian guy where you kind of bring that up with a lot of these players, or do you sort of let it be for, you know, a bunch of guys who, no offense Tanner and everything, but these guys probably weren't even alive.
They weren't.
SMU was in the WAC, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm a historian, but I love college football. From the time I was like 6, you know, I was watching it all the time. And so I'm pretty well versed in history. I know we're 0-3 against BYU. The 1980 Holiday Bowl was the first time. There's a lot that goes into that game, and you know, one of the top 5 bowl games of all time. And then we lost to 96, 97, I believe, in home and home. But the history of BYU and that program, the history of SMU and our program, you know, speaks for itself, even like you said, long before these guys were born. So we did actually show them a 4-minute highlight of that game, mainly because they got to see Craig James, Eric Dickerson going crazy like they normally did. But obviously it didn't end the way we needed it to at SMU. But just for them to understand that that's what bowl games are about. That's what's so cool about college football is we get these opportunities, if you're not in the playoff, to play in games like this that have history and maybe create some history of its own. So really excited about it. Any questions? All right, thanks, Coach. All right.